Christopher Grimes says, "Hi, Mike. Random question. Why is it a big deal to attend multiple gyms, dojos?" What do you mean a big deal? I'm terrible at answering questions because I always have a question. When you say big deal to who? And in what way? Is it a big deal to you that you should do it? Or if you do it, why is it a big deal to adult men who teach people to fight for a living that get butt hurt because a guy that they teach martial arts to also learns martial arts somewhere else? Is that what you mean by big deal? Because that is a weird thing. It is a super duper weird thing that a giant human covered in muscles and tattoos would say, hey, don't you go learn karate over there. You just got to learn karate over here. The thing about going to multiple gyms, it's just insecurity. I think it's so crazy that guys who have martial arts gyms, either MMA gyms or traditional martial arts gyms or anything like that, could think that their place is the best at everything. And they'll try to tell you, like, you'll go in to a gym that turns out like maybe MMA fighters or, and say, I'm here to learn self-defense. And they're like, oh, for sure, we got that. Now, that's a little bit of a terrible example because probably the MMA fighters are really good at defending themselves and they could teach you how to fight, which puts you closer to defending yourself. But an interesting thing to me, my kickboxing instructor is a head bouncer for a couple of bars. He's always worked as a bouncer in bars. That's all he's ever done. He was a wrestler in college. He's a professional MMA fighter. He's a karate black belt and a taekwondo black belt. And he'll say, man, I don't know shit about self-defense. That's why I respect him so much. First of all, you really do. But second of all, the fact that he recognizes it's different. So when schools think that they're the best at everything, it always blows my mind. Like if, say, you wanted to learn wrestling, right? And you go to a school and there's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts there who are good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and they also learn some takedowns and some hand fighting and some positional stuff. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, good, here. Oh, you want to fight like insert famous MMA fighter whose base is wrestling? Oh, we could teach you how to do that here. Or if, your school's an MMA school run by wrestlers and you're like, man, I want to be a kickboxer. And they're like, we can teach you kickboxing here. It's just weird. Or even within that, if you want to be a kickboxer and you think that your school has the best kicks and the best hands and the best strategy, it's just so unlikely that your school is the best at everything. And if you forbid your fighters or your students from training other places, that's like saying, oh, because you work at McDonald's, you can't eat at Burger King. Or actually, it's more really, it's like, oh, because you eat at McDonald's, you can't eat at Burger King. Bitch, I'm your customer. I will go wherever I want to go. I will pay you to come here. I will pay other people to go there. The dude across town does roundhouse kicks better than you do them. You do takedowns better than he does them. So I'm going to learn roundhouse kicks from him and takedowns from you. And if, like, this is my main school and I go over here once a week to spar with them, you should be glad I do that, because when I come back, I've seen what they're doing. Maybe we might have to fight one of those guys one day. Someone from here might have to fight someone from there. Or maybe they're doing something cool that I can bring over here and tell you guys about. It's just so silly that, like, places, dude, it blows my mind. Like, if you run a martial arts school or MMA gym or anything like that, and you don't let people train at other places, you're a bitch. Like, you are a bitch and you're insecure. Like, you need to work on that. You need to, I've rarely struggled with words, so you guys know that when I'm struggling with words, it's a big deal. I can't understand that. I just can't. WCG Martial Arts and Fitness. A martial arts school I used to work for forbid me from training at any other schools. I'm like, surely it is in your best interest to have your instructors training with the best around. I ignored it. Yeah, dude. That's so insecure. That's pathetic. That is pathetic. I want to be clear. They forbid you from training at other schools. I want to make this clear. I want to say it again. I want to say it again. Maybe you can beat me up. Maybe you're a black belt in something. Maybe you're a professional fighter. Maybe you're big and huge and strong and you can beat me up. You might be super tough and you might be a professional fighter, or you might churn out professional fighters. You might be a bad dude. But if you own a martial arts school and forbid your students to train at other martial arts schools, you a bitch. That's it. That's all there is to it. Maybe you can beat me up, but that fact still remains, homie. That's sad. As you're pounding my face into the mats or the ring or the canvas or whatever, I'll be thinking, you a bitch. It's just so sad. It's so terribly sad. On an individual level, it's worse. What he's going through that makes him do that is worse for him than it is for you, but he's doing it to so many people. That's stupid. So you're saying if you train in a place and they have a contract that says you can't train in other places, I don't think there's many places like that, is there? So Shadow Dragon, those places exist. What's probably more likely is it's an unwritten rule and you get side-eyed and looked at funny, or they talk. What'll happen is you start going somewhere else to train. The people that don't will all form a clique against you and talk bad about you. And I feel sorry for them, but the problem with feeling sorry for them, the problem with feeling sorry for that guy is he's doing that because of pain and insecurity that he's experiencing. Right? And it hurts. It hurts him really bad. Typically, when someone's hurting like that, like when someone's being either negative or causing, trying to give you a single person grief, I just like kind of pity them and I want to help them, and I try to reach out to them and I just try to be available and I try to offer them whatever I can to make their lives better. But in that guy's case, he has to be, he doesn't deserve too much pity because he's harming so many other people. Like everybody that trains with him, he is harming them in some degree.